Today, we're going to take a journey, but not to some far-off place. We're going inside. We're going to peel back the layers of your own mind, starting with the stuff you think about every day and digging all the way down to these deep, invisible forces that are quietly, maybe without you even knowing it, shaping your entire reality.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Think about the last decision you made, or how you reacted to something someone said. Are you truly in control of those thoughts? I mean, are you really the one driving? Or is there something else at the wheel?
All right, to start figuring that out, let's look at what you might call the user interface of our consciousness. And for this, we're turning to the brilliant work of a Nobel laureate, Daniel Kahneman.
So what he discovered is that we essentially have two minds, or two systems, running at all times. Think of System 1 as your automatic pilot. It's that gut reaction, right? It's super fast, totally intuitive, and it's always on. It's what lets you drive down a familiar road without thinking or instantly get a vibe from someone. Then there's System 2. This is your deliberate thinker. It's slow, it's rational, and it's what you have to boot up for, say, a tricky math problem. But here's the catch. System 2 takes a ton of effort.
And this is where it gets super interesting. Kahneman actually calls System 2 the lazy controller. Why? Because our brains are fundamentally wired to save energy. They're always looking for the path of least resistance. And what that means is that System 2 is more than happy to just sit back and let our automatic, and sometimes totally wrong, System 1 run the show.
So that begs a really important question, right? If we spend most of our time on autopilot, what software is that autopilot even running? What's the program that determines how we instantly react when things get tough or we fail at something?
Well, that brings us to the next layer down. Your mind's guiding software. And this is where the groundbreaking work of psychologist Carol Dweck on mindset just changes everything.
Let's put this into a real-world context. Imagine this. You get a C+ on a midterm for a class you actually like. You're disappointed, obviously. But what happens next? What's that immediate conversation that starts inside your head?
Well, if you're running on what Dweck calls fixed mindset software, that C+ feels like a final verdict. It's not just a grade, it's a judgment on who you are, on your intelligence, your worth. The inner voice is just brutal. I'm a failure. I'm an idiot. It's absolute.
But, okay, let's reboot and run the growth mindset software instead. Same situation, same C+, but suddenly the whole interpretation flips. It's not a verdict anymore, it's just data. It's a signpost saying, hey, maybe try a new study method, or time to stretch yourself a little more. It's a prompt to grow.
You see what's happening here? These two mindsets literally create two different worlds you can live in. In the fixed world, your whole life is just this series of tests where you have to constantly prove you're smart enough. But in the growth world, life becomes this amazing landscape of opportunities to just get better. Okay, so this mindset software is clearly powerful stuff, but it makes you wonder, what's it installed on? What's the core operating system underneath it all that makes us default to one or the other? And that's where we have to go even deeper. We're talking about the operating system now, the core blueprint of who you believe you are. And this is where we get into the incredible work of Dr. Maxwell Maltz and psychocybernetics. What's so cool is that Maltz was actually a plastic surgeon, and he noticed this bizarre thing. He could perfectly fix someone's physical scar, but often they still felt scarred on the inside. That feeling didn't change. And that led him to realize that we all have this deep, subconscious self-image that's like a blueprint for our lives. And that blueprint, it sets the absolute limits for what we believe we can achieve.
He called the engine that runs this blueprint the servo mechanism. And the best way to think about it is like a heat-seeking missile. You give the missile a target, and it doesn't ask why. It just locks on and automatically corrects its course to hit it. So if your deep self-image, your target is, I'm bad at relationships, your internal servo mechanism will subconsciously steer you again and again toward experiences that prove that target is correct. Now, this is the really crucial insight from Maltz. You can't just use willpower to change this. You can't just decide you have a new self-image. That's not how it works. You have to actually convince that deep, subconscious part of you that the new identity is true. It doesn't respond to logic, it responds to feeling and what it accepts as reality. Okay, so let's recap our architecture. We have our daily interface, System 1 and 2. We have our mindset software, fixed or growth. And we have our self-image operating system. But what powers the whole thing? What's the ultimate power source that runs it all? Where's the electricity coming from? We finally arrived at the engine room, the very power source.
And this brings us to the work of Joseph Murphy, who really delved into the incredible, almost limitless creative power of the subconscious mind. You see, Murphy didn't see the subconscious as just some storage unit for memories. He saw it as a direct link to infinite power, infinite wisdom. He called it a treasure house inside you, just brimming with potential, basically just waiting for you to give it directions.
The best analogy for this is the gardener and the garden. Your conscious mind, the part you're using right now, is the gardener. You get to choose the seeds, your thoughts, your beliefs. Your subconscious mind, that's the garden. It's incredibly fertile soil. And here is the most important part. The soil doesn't care what you plant. It doesn't judge. You plant a seed of doubt, it will grow it. You plant a seed of success, it will grow that too. It will grow poison ivy with just as much dedication as it'll grow a beautiful rose.
And this isn't just some internal head game. This is the fundamental law that Murphy talks about. Whatever you consistently impress upon your subconscious, whatever you plant in that garden, has to be expressed on the screen of space as your experiences, your conditions, your life. Simply put, every thought is a cause and every condition is an effect. Your inner world literally creates your outer world.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. Now that we understand the architecture, the interface, the software, the OS, the power source, we can do something about it. We can actually stop being just passive residents of our own minds and become the architects.
So how do you actually do that? It really boils down to a three-step process. Step 1 is to just observe. You have to start paying attention. Use your deliberate System 2 to catch your automatic System 1 reactions. Notice when that fixed mindset voice pops up. Step 2, challenge. When you catch it, don't just let it run. Interrupt it. Question that old, limiting self-image. Ask yourself, is that really true? And finally, Step 3 is to install. This is where you become the gardener. You consciously, deliberately, and repeatedly plant the new seeds, the thoughts and beliefs about the reality you want, into that fertile soil of your subconscious. And you do it with feeling, as if it's already true.
Because in the end, it all comes down to this one powerful truth. You change your thoughts, and you will change your destiny. It's that simple and that profound.
Look, your mind is without a doubt the most powerful and sophisticated piece of technology you will ever own. It's sitting right there, between your ears. So the only question left is, how are you going to program it?